Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Little technical difficulties again. Doc from North America here. Little technical difficulties again. It's just the way it rolls around here anymore. But anyhow, this you can see the I was looking at the numbers too. At first they thought the numbers were hot. In other words, they had an employment number a few minutes ago, and then they thought they were cold, and then they're not sure. And then you can see the stock indices are pretty much. They went down, they went up. I have them up on the screen. You can see I'm screen sharing into them at the moment. Nothing really too exciting one way or the other. You know, we are trapped in this world of, you know, are they going to raise? Yesterday, the Canadian government raised. You know, the world is starting to adjust one more time. So I'd assume it would be a surprise to me, but we may get another quarter point increase. And then he may say something really nice, like, and now we're going to observe for, you know, a few meetings. You know, something of that nature. Oh, let me get the chat line going. Where's it at? Chatty line. Not there. Nothing up my sleeve. There we go. Got the chat line there going. And let's see what it says. Mountain says women's semi on today. Oh, you're really rocking now. So who's leading? Who is leading it all? Today we will be discussing pickleball, badminton, and volleyball. How about farming? Oh, and maybe marbles too. No, it's that time of the year, and then the British Open. I guess you know the where are we at now? June, right? So the British Open is coming around the corner in about 4 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. I mean, these are some of the world sports. Let's see, right there. All right, now let's get. Where's it at? Right there. Let's get the dollar index up on Chicago Quant. There we go, right there. There we are. You can see a little pressure on it there. This has been really sideways. You see it over here on J4X. Same situation, kind of sideways. You see the green is 50, basically almost 51. The yellow is 54. So, you know, the pressure is in on the downside. We got some red hanky ashkies going on. Over here on Chicago Quant, we've had, you know, green and a red, and a green and a red, and then one more, you know, with a clean buy. You had a buy here, kept it in the buy. It's playing with the sell as we speak. Matter of fact, why don't we do this? We'll put a line right down here in case I have to, you know, at the end of the day, I'll move it over, and if not, I'll erase it, one or the other. And you can see the weekly is still very firm, but the fast has broken down. You can see that over the last couple of weeks. You know, that's because it's going sideways. It's plateauing. What would I guess I must have said, let's see what that is. I must have said, you know, I would be surprised if it got through the 105s. So it seemed to stall out in the 104s, 104.6. So, I mean, that's where we stand when it comes to the dollar itself. It's really quiet, and it's all again because of. And Robin, you know, when you said yesterday and you called and you said what news came out, that's what it was. It was the Canadian. It was the Canadian interest rate increase. Going for tea here. There we go. So that's what jolted the market yesterday around 10. I knew there's some economic statistics that come out every day at 9 o'clock your time, and they after the 8:30 open, there's a bunch of stats that come out. You know, not like every day there's something, and it has a little influence on the market. You know, it's part of that fundamental thing that appears and disappears, constantly doing that over and over and over again. You know, it's kind of like tennis, looking at the ball go back and forth, seeing the players be the players, you know, the talent, that type of thing. So, anyway, That's where we stand with the dollar and the dollar index. So let's move us along to the euro, unless someone wants to see something. Oh, look at that. I saw 20. Did I see 26 last night? I think I saw 26, yeah. Or it was very close to the 26. The high last night was 25.25. Today's high is 25.37. That is the Turkish lira. We're starting to call it now little ruble. Sounds like something Trump would do. Little ruble. That's what we call it, because that's what it's doing. It's doing the ruble thing, you know, the little ruble. There's a euro. See, the euro is trying to get back into the buy right there. And we keep on saying, you can see dollar index over here on Chicago Quant pushing down, and ours is pushing down, so that makes total sense. Same time, the fast has broken the manifold on the weekly, and it's heading towards the zero line, and we just need the green to get moving along with it. So I don't think there's that much excitement to get for these pairs trades to really get rolling along. What else can we say about any of that? I guess that's about it. Let's go over to the cable, since it's quiet this morning. Today's the day before Friday, so I'm happy about that. There's cable doing the same exact thing, playing with the line right there. And it's been in a weekly sell just for the last couple of weeks. 3 weeks now. The fast has been in a weekly sell since up in here in the fours, but it's not really crushing it. Just kind of sideways down. Cable looking firm. I'm sure if Benny comes in. Oh, big banks just went on a huge buying spree for Swiss francs. Really, just now, this minute. Let's go over to Swiss franc. There's a Swissy. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice move down. We've been in the buy for a couple of days, and now they're starting to roll. We're in that weekly buy, so I guess sometimes. Let me say this. And I do say this every so often. Sometimes actually currencies move because companies need it. Someone needs to own the currency so they can transact in it. We've gotten to a point now where the fundamentals drift out of our frontal lobes. We don't think about it as much because like there you go. You can see here on J4X, red, green, red, green, red, green. I mean, it's just been kind of lethargic, and. You can see here the yellow is at 42, the green is at 38, so the pressure is on for it to move down. You can see in Chicago Quant, same thing. It's trying to move down. It's broken the zero line today. We slid into the slide and we went back into the buy and went up. But there's not a lot of conviction, and we're in that weekly buy. So I imagine, somebody needed, Swiss, or they needed to, move their money into Swiss or move it out of Swiss, or something of that nature, and they had to go buy that or sell it. For every buyer there's a seller, for every seller there's a buyer. In this last hour, maybe someone is buying Swiss ammo for the war. Maybe that's one way of looking at it. Let me see. I think I have one of the charts on the hourly. Let's see if we can find it. Just for the fun of it. Yeah, there's AUD. And I think that's an hourly chart, isn't it? Where's it at? Let me just see what it is. Format instrument. It is an hourly. So let's put the Swiss in there instead. See what the Swiss looks like. USD. Swissy. There she comes. Yep, look at that. Nice punch in the face, isn't it? Went down from the 90-90 area down to the 90-33 area. That was a big smash-o. Challenging the lows over here. When we tighten it up, it's inside the range. Notice we can put a big box around to define the range here. You see over the last, 10 days, it's been basically staying inside the range right there. There's the range, up and down, lower highs, and then there was a lower low, then the lower high, consolidating, higher low, getting into a triangle. Then they reach up for it, almost takes it out the top of the triangle, right up in there, and or this line right there. I guess it'd be like that, something like that. So yeah, sometimes fundamentals actually move these things. You can see it like right there. They did it there. What was that? That was almost the same size as this one. And it was down for half a day, I guess you could say. That's, what's that, about 12 hours right there? And then it turned right back up again. Where's that mouse at right there? So right there, and then it turned back up, but didn't go far enough. Then it went up again. Not as big a sell. And that's kind of like that's the whole gig out of it all, really. The fundamentals. Someone obviously needed something, and they had to switch. They had to transfer it, and it's kind of neat, You can see one right, I guess, like right there. There's a spike up like that. There's a spike up like that too, right there. If we widen this out a little bit, so you see that one right there on that hour. Then that hour it failed, fell back again. Sellers dominated. So there's one right there, carried on. So the chances, let's put it this way, when it pops, maybe you'll get this type of action, right? Let's put a circle around it. You might get some type of action like that, where it pops up and then tries to sell down to the lows again, and then, lifts again, and then finally maybe a break. I don't know. We'll see. See what it does. But it's interesting. I agree. All right, let's get. I'm going to leave that in there just for the fun of it. What the hell? Just save it too. Save it. There we are. We can come back and look at it another day, or even today if you want. All right. From there, what do I do it like that? Does that do it? Or does that do it? That does it. There we go. And there's the stock indice, just kind of stumbling along, going nowhere either. I mean, it just seems like that was the title yesterday, I think I said in the webinar. The title was something like stock indices, are lethargic, or something like that. They've got the market stalled. They're not able to really get the markets moving along at this point. Moving. Indeed. All right. So, where's my... All right. So, from there, let me put the microphone back up. Somehow I took the microphone went off for a second. All right. I think it was for the wires. All right. Now, from there, we go back. Oh, we were looking at the cable. And cable, nothing magic back there. We see the Swiss holding down right now. But we're in that weekly buy, so, we'll see. I mean, those moves have not stopped it from climbing still. All right. From there, we go over to the yen. I think we go to the yen, yeah. Let's do the yen. Dollar yen right there. And you can see, some reds and greens each day. You can see right now we are at 59. And the green is at 62, so it's trying to lift in there. Looks like it's marching forward. Right there. Now, over here, the hinkies are making it look stronger than what it is at the moment. And let me see if I can widen this. Where do I widen that? I go like right there. There it is. So you can see they're trying to back it off. It went over to 40 again, and then they're rolling it over. We've been in that buy since here, and it's really not been that great a buy. But we're in that weekly buy, and that doesn't seem to want to give up too much. Now, we've got the fast breaking the manifold at the moment, but it's not breaking the zero line. And the slow is not really caring one way or the other, so nothing really there. Big banks just went on a use last hour. Maybe someone is... okay, so I've all read that. All right. And from there, what else do we got from there? From the yen, I know what we do. We go over to the Mexican peso. Peso is looking very, very very, very firm against the dollar, which makes sense because it is the leader of the BRICS. So at this point, we've seen the two BRICS that we watch. We watch the Mexican peso, and we also look at the South African rand. Let's put the South African rand for a minute up on here. We'll jump around a little bit because now I'm starting to realize, we are watching what I think is an emphasis of the BRIC, not in fantasy but in reality. And the same thing here. South African rand has been gaining against the dollar also. So the two BRICS that we follow, which is basically the index that I've put together of trying to follow the BRIC like we follow the dollar index, says basically is that the BRICS are picking up on the dollar right now. That's what it comes down to. I can't wait for Giannis to get back. I hope he has a very lovely and peaceful, honeymoon and so forth and vacation. But I think we need to get an index put together with the concept that I've suggested. And this way, Dukascopy can be one of the first. I created an index years ago. Was his name? Jim Cramer took it and put it into it was called the DOT at that point. The Securities Exchange Commission gave me the symbol of WAY. And so what he did is he just took that and copied it, and that was it. So, I have history of being good at putting together an index. So from there, WAY stood for the Internet Highway. That's what it was going to be called, the Internet Highway Index. And I had 7 sectors, like chips, and I had networking, stocks separated. I had 7 different smaller indices making up the big index itself. And then I invented a way of making it liquid by the capitalization would compensate. I used it almost like a divisor. So like the way the Dow Jones Industrial Average works, so not one stock would dominate it. So in other words, due to the liquidity of an individual stock, like an Apple or back then an Intel, could not, or Microsoft could not dominate its sector, or Cisco Systems couldn't dominate its sector solely because I had the index balanced to the volume of individual stocks versus the individual stocks in the different sectors. It wasn't cap weighted, it was volume weighted, which is kind of cool, Robin says, who's saying that? Oh, Mountain. Oh, Benny, there's Benny. Hey, Benny. Benny and the Jets. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Maybe someone is, let's see, Benny says, GM Benny. Mountain says, GM Robin. GM MW. Cool. Yeah, so we need to get an index set up, and we'll get that part of our game. You know that, Robin? We'll get Dukascopy to put our index together, and then we'll have the BRIC index, because there's no BRIC index out there now, and we can have a BRIC index very easily because we have 3 or 4 of the BRICS really trading very liquidly, and the ones that don't trade very liquidly are almost irrelevant anyway, so it doesn't matter. They can be in the index, but they won't mean much. And then if they come to life through changes of political and economic situations, then we'll have them in the index, and then they'll start to reflect their action, and we'll adjust it over time. But it'll be identical to the dollar index in the sense of how they balance the dollar index. Alrighty. So now, from here, you can see the 2 BRICS are showing strength against the dollar, or the dollar index. And the dollar index is going down, and the 2 BRICS are definitely roaring against it. Now, from there, let's do this. Let's go over to, let's see, should we do that? Let's do this. Let's do gold and then oil in Canada, and then we'll go back and look at the crazies that are going on with little ruble. That's our new nickname. I've done a Trumpy. We call the Turkish lira the little ruble. Next thing you know, it'll be at 30 and change. Yesterday I said that when it was at 22 and 23. Now it's at 26. Someone was listening. Alrighty. So from there's the South African rand, gaining against the dollar. And let's take a look at gold. Gold normally should be lifting. Now I'm not sure if that has anything to do with the haircut or not from the politics. This could be literally they're going to resolve the politics in South Africa. The president was caught with all that free cash floating around in his office. So that has made things really bad. Now let's go to, where's it at? Right there. Let's take a, no, not there, it's right there. Let's take a look at the oil market. Okay, right there. Gold is lifting up today. Okay, so we're seeing some strength there. But it has been going down, which is curious because you see here up on J4X, the South African rand has been, picking up against the dollar, going from like 1975. Now we are down to 1899. So as much as the gold has been sideways to down, we're seeing the rand really reflect something. So if anybody has heard anything down in South Africa about what's going on with the president of the country, it would be great if you could tell us, because it looks like to me some type of resolution is being developed, because I think the rand is at least 4 handles too high. It should be trading in the 14s at this point, not the 18s and 19s. It's just way overpriced. And so the only reason it was that way before is the politics, the calamity that they have going on. All right, now from there, let's go over to right there. We'll go to the Canadian. There's the Canadian. And the Canadian's doing the same thing. It's gaining against the dollar. And when we look at oil, let's put oil up on J4X. Right there. There's oil. And as you can see here, oil's been... Well, actually, oil has been going up. You can see it there. The pressure is on the upside. And when we look at it, I know we're playing with a daily buy right now in our work. Let's see if we can put it up here. Yeah, so it has been rising. So it makes sense that the Canadian, and then it fell off a little bit, and now it's trying to rise again. We're trying to get into the buy. We were in a weekly buy and it failed, and now we're in the sell. It's trying to get into the sell. More than likely it will because of the way the green line is piercing. Unfortunately, let's just go look at the back month, because this contract expires in about 7 days. So we may be seeing delivery issues going on. Here's September, and September is very bullish. Look at that. And, it's not failing at all. So we may be seeing delivery issues going on, just like when the contract went minus $39 one week, where people would pay you to buy the contract. It's kind of like that minus interest rate thing, And it was funny and wild. They did it during our trading hour, which was really fun, All right. So that there kind of makes it clearer. It's definitely on a better, stronger trend the couple months back, back months. So that makes sense. Let's see what the price is between the two. Only 12 cents. So they're almost at parity. So there may be a delivery situation going on. That's why the weekly is acting the way it is. In other words, they don't want to take delivery. So there's no premium in it like there had been from the back month. We were seeing $1 premium in the front month. Now it's almost at parity with the back month. So obviously as they were saying about the Swiss franc, and the banks or whoever, made a move in the Swiss franc for an hour ago or so. It's the same thing here. The oil is front month oil is not being reached for. So, alrighty. From there we go to, where do we go? I guess, and we've seen the Canadian. So they're both telling us that story. Now let's finish off the currencies, and then we'll show Benny. Benny will show you the GBP AUD in a few seconds. But let's go back and clean off the Turkish lira. Here is little ruble. and it's doing its best to turn into a mess like the ruble. And now that the election's over with, they really feel like they need to, look at that. After the election, right, it was in the 20s, like 21, 22-ish, right? Now we're playing with 26, and before you know it, it'll be trading at like 32 or 33, and it'll have lost another 50% in a matter of weeks. Why do I say that? It just feels that way. There's no technical analysis except for the fact of our weekly looking like an Elon Musk rocket at the moment, trying to fly away. Let's see if we can get that up there. There we are. Look at that. Look at that weekly. It looks like an Elon Musk rocket taking off. So, we may go sideways a couple of days, and the next thing you know, we could be at 30 or 32. Definitely going to have a major problem. Let's put it this way. It's going to pick up 33% more likely it'll do a Fibonacci. So that's why I was saying 33. I was thinking, well, it might run to the 33 areas because it's probably going to pick up 33%. Well, 33% from 22, so that would be 7 handles. That's 29. You got to figure that the panic and the illiquidity will make it even crazier. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it stalls at 29.5 or 30, something like that. Or it goes all the way up to there, 33, and that would be like a 50 percentile move. So that's where I get that number out of my head. How do I come up with that number? That's how I come up with it. That's pretty cool. I like that, talking about that. You can see Doc's psychosis. The world, a crazy world, according to Doc. Doc. All right. Now let's go to Benny's. Let's go check out Cable Aussie. Still doing that glide down. We got a little green dot, and it is down for the day. The weekly has not turned. So the win on this one, I guess we can grab one of these wins right there. And so the win there is doing fine. I guess we shouldn't have grabbed that one, shall we? It doesn't matter. We'll just leave wrong there like that instead. And so, yeah, you can see there, that's the in a weekly sell, daily sell, buy, birdie. Let's see what they do. You said yesterday, let me know when they go into the buy. We'll look at it each day and see. Now, from there, oh my God. Jojo the monkey's saying stupid things again as usual. Government land management policies that prevent wildfires spreading out of control, blah, 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 reduce CO2, blah, 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 blah. Forget about it. All right. Now, from there, we are done, unless someone else wants to see another currency. And what we'll do is we'll jump over to silver. We go to silver? Yeah, we go to silver. Because we were looking at the gold, and we'll look at the metals and get a flavor of what's going on in the metals complex. So, I thought it flirting with the buy today. I think it was. Yeah, there it is. It was flirting with the buy. It only went to the sell for the one day, and it's trying to turn up again. That's a good example of, the South African rand heading down. And you can see we're still stuck in this weekly sell right here. But the fast-moving algo, the dotted line, the dashed line, the cyan or bluish one, is almost touching the zero line. It's trying to get going to the upside there. We just need to see the slow or the big green one change directions. Do you give the dozer rental back? No, it's still around. But I don't think we're going to move anything with it. It's been laying around for a couple days. We have other projects. We got some fencing we need to put up. So, and then we got a project for Robin we need to do. We got all kinds of things going on. Just busy. It is what it is. Okay. Let's see, where are we at now? Silver. Okay, so that's silver. Let's take a look at, I noticed copper had been in a buy for, daily for a while, since back in here in the 360ish area, 370 area, 365, something like that. And then it ran up to the 380ish area. And today they are flirting with the daily sell. We've been in a weekly sell since back up in here in the $4 area. So it's not like we're saying, hey, get long on this move. It just kept you from being short. That's all it did. And if you wanted to option trade it or binary trade it, then you could, it's a lot less risk, Now, brown cow, we jump over to platinum, which I think is the eyes of the soul of the metals complex. And you can see there it's flirting with a daily sell. Yesterday they pushed on it hard. And you can see we're in the weekly sell like we are with the silver and the gold and the copper. They're not really reaching for these products. They're looking at them and they're saying, not this week's work. Maybe next week's work or the next month. That's what it's saying. There we go. Now, what else can we say about any of this? Well, I guess that is what it is. Don't have a stronger opinion there. I guess that's about it with the metals complex. So from there, we can slide over to the energy sector and see what they're doing. Let's see what Brent is doing. But it's as we identified when looking at the Canadian, the back months are catched up to they're almost at parity with the front month. So there's obviously a delivery thing going on. That's like that move in the Swiss, a delivery. Hello, delivery. We've got your Swiss francs. Oh, thank you. Yes, move that tractor and trailer over there with them, please. Indeed. All right, we'll bring out the forklift and take them off the pallet. Or take the pallets out of Swissies. All right, and that's the platinum as we see on our screen. So let's go over to the back month. Well, there's the front month as we showed you. It's trading at 72.74, playing with a daily buy, but in that weekly sell. But then we flip to a back month in September, and what do we see? We see not even challenging the weekly, not even paying attention to the weekly, and at the same time also playing with the daily buy, and only about a 4 or 5 cent difference between the two. So obviously it's that delivery thing. Pull up your barge and let's put some of those barrels on it. All right, now from there we march over to the nat gas, and there's natural gas flirting with the daily buy. Yesterday they gave us a red and a green. It's trying. It's above the zero line yesterday. It's above it today. And the weekly has climbed towards the zero line. So not bad. They seem to be reaching for this stuff. It's what else can we say about that? I guess nat gas. I heard this really great story today. I like trying to find a story that might match with what we're watching. It doesn't mean it does, but we don't make our decisions from the stories. But it's always fun to hear the stories. And the story is that Senator Rand Paul said that he was with a bunch of German officers in they came to Washington to talk to them about energy. And they said that please don't make the mistakes we made where we discontinued coal and we discontinued nuclear and we didn't have anything to compensate for it, and we built windmills and they didn't work, and we've moved back to natural gas and coal and nuclear again until we have something realistic to use, and that's something to think about, And so nat gas is looking firm here today. Our nat gas is trading in the 2s. We know that in Europe it's trading in the 20s, so it's trading like 10 times more. So it's definitely a warning sign. And in all seriousness, what controls the weather on Earth is that big glowing ball in the sky. We call it the sun, and it controls 99.9% of all weather on Earth. And man has not even 1%, not even 1/10% of influence. So you can kill 200,000 cows, it ain't going to do a thing. You can stop using fossil fuels, it's not doing a thing. You know, we're back to numbers from 2 centuries ago when it comes to ozone. It's not doing a thing. You know, it doesn't work. You know, it's basic bench science. You know, put it on the workbench and try it out. And it has failed. So you can be in the mode for that, but I'm just telling you that there is no math and science that proves it. And that's why, you know, it's all politic. And so you can love it, love it, but it won't have any influence on Earth. Only the sun in the sky does. And for those out there that are surprised that that you hear things like that, when you look at the environmental movement, they give the sun no credit at all influencing our weather. None, zero. So that's just right there alone tells you the insanity of the statistics. Let's see, euro dollar seems to be making a breakout to the upside. On a daily or an hourly or a weekly, which one? We'll go back to it. Let's go take a look at the daily chart and see if they're taking off. There it is right there. It is definitely firm. It's through the green line, the 0 line, so that's for sure. You see the weekly is still parked way down, and way off of the 111 area. We drifted down to the 106 area almost. I mean 106 and a quarter type of thing. What was the low there? So are you sure it's a breakout, or would you call it a dead cat bounce? Might call that a dead cat bounce at the moment. I would not say, I don't see anything breaking out. But you have to give me the time frame you're thinking that you see a breakout coming from. Maybe it's an hourly. Are you thinking hourly? Let's go over to the hour chart. Oh my, oh my. There it is. Let's go like this. We'll make a copy of it and we'll put a euro in there for an hourly. What do we do here? We go copy window and then paste window. Go like that, and then we go like remove that, and we see what we do. So now what we're doing is whoa, look at that. That's the Swissy. It's still falling. And let's take a look at the euro. Euro against the dollar. Well, it's breaking out from the last couple hours. Let's see when the math catches up. We'll tell you in a few seconds. On a 4 hour. Okay, so I got to go to 4 hour. Okay. Round bottom on the daily. To me, it looks like a dead cat bounce at the moment. I mean, when you've fallen from 111 to 106, you would think that it would bounce. In other words, you know, there has to be some type of bounce. You see, it did the bounce there. I guess if it takes this top out right there, then you can declare it a breakout. And obviously, if it takes out that top right there, it is definitely some type of breakout. It's making higher highs. But right now, let's take a look at it on the 4 hour. And you can see there's the 1 hour. And it's taken out that high right here with that high. Then it took out that high right there with that high. And now we've taken out this high of that high. So now we need to take out is this plateau right there in the 107 and a quarter. When it does that, then you start to think breakout. Okay? And then let's go to the 4 hour. Meow. 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 And there's the 4 hour. You know, see our math is turning up. It went into the buy right here. Our hourly, no, you know what? It went into the buy right here. So it went into the buy right here on this one, then gave you a great spike the next 4 hour, and a couple of like 12 hours of digestion, you know, and then still in the buy. It's been in the buy since right here. So let's put a line in there to identify that. See, right there. So it went into the daily buy there. And it's still climbing. Still climbing. Cool. Went into the daily sell right off of this one. And then I think it went in and out a few times, didn't it? Right there. So it went into the sell there. And that's what it's doing now. Then it, rode down for a week, or a couple days, I guess. And then it went into the buy off of this one. And then it went back into the sell off of that one. I like the hourly. It's much more accurate. There it is. So there's the action. Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens over the next couple days. See if it takes out this. See if it can take out the 107.80. It's not that far away from it at this point. And we're in that 4-hour buy. We've been in that for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 4 is 32 hours. We've been in a daily buy for 32 hours now. There was a good buy right there. It's interesting. They do the buy, then they digest it a little bit, dead cat bounce type stuff, and then boom, take off. There's the buy right there. And that was a nice win. That was a nice win. That was an okay win. Nothing great. This was it went lower, so it did win. Depends on your money management thing. It went down there again, gave you a chance to get out. Went into a buy here. It was a win. And still a win. Still going. How is that, Mountain? Is that good or good? Really, really good. I'm going to sip my tea waiting for you to tell me if I'm crazy or really, really crazy. You're really, really crazy. I am really, really crazy. All right, what else can we say about any of this? La 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 la. All right, Mountain. Let's see. Mountain says, "Yes, Doc, you're really, really crazy." Yes, I am. It didn't make a lower low on H4 and round bottom, so lots of upside pressure. Yes, I see I agree with you. It is definitely upside pressure, and our math is screaming that. Yep, I agree. But overall, you can see it's that. It's made lower lows. Now it's starting to make higher highs. And it started doing it right here. Right in that area there. Let's put a little box around that. Right there. There they are, the higher highs. Aha. All right. What else can we say about any of that? All right. Now, I don't have much more opinion about any of that, but I like you know what? I like the hourly better. I really do. I think the hourly is a much better chart. Well, I don't even like hours and minutes to begin with, so I would follow it more on an hourly basis than I would on a 4-hour, or at least have that make both of them work together. So in other words, you would have an hourly and a 4-hourly, and then and I would, that would be the way I look at it. Let's see. It didn't take out the 107, but might. It is now. It's through the 107. Yeah, the high is right there. What is that? 107.59. So it took out the 107. Hasn't closed above it. That's all. Right now it's trading at 107.50. Yeah, it's above it too. It's trading above it as we speak. See it over there in the box? Where's that mousey at? See it right there? See? Right there. It's at 107.50. Yeah, let me make a copy of this and put up an hourly too and put them side by side. I like that. If you're going to follow this stuff, you got to find a second one of them, I think. I really do. Copy. Paste. And then let's put an hourly in. There we go. Yeah, I like that. I mean, it goes into the buy right there. And it's been in a buy since. Goes into the sell. Well, I can make a sell. That's no problem. I don't have to change any colors. Goes into the sell right there. Off of this one right here. The little one. It's very weak. And then we go back into a buy again. Like we go into buy right there. The buys have been the better trades, that's for sure. Then we go with another sell right there. That was pretty cool. I caught that action. And that's the buy right there. Change that color. And then what's nice is there's the sell. Off. Is that it? Let's move it over one. There it is. There's the sell right there on the hourly. Compared to, let's see, let's minimize that, and let's get the other one up there like that, and then we go like this. There we go. So there's the 4 hours to the left, the 1 hours to the right, and you can see how much more fun it is. Funnish. It's funnish. Yeah, like that. Funnish. Let me see, I'm just answering my text here. There we go. So at this point, what else can we say about any of these things? The 4 hour, like I said, is I guess it's okay. You know, I like the more short term, the better when it comes to these hourly readings. Let's see. Mountain says, sorry, I meant the 107.80. Ah, yeah, right. It's got to take out that 80 area here, right there. Let's put a little circle-y. A circly thing in there like that right there. It's got to take out that one. There it is right there. And that's it right there too. There we are. And what else have we got about that? So, I don't have any more opinion about it just like that because I'm not a big fan of the hourlies. So, minutes, hourlies, it's too Newtonian to me. I'm more Galilean and Einsteinian. Spatial mathematics, I'm more Euler. All right. I guess that's about it. How's that look? Mountain cool or what? And we're going to have a service one day that you can subscribe to that will allow you to see 1 hourlies and 4 hourlies with our math, which is a lot more fun than all the other junk. All right. From there, where do we go from there? Let's shoot over to, let's see, what were we looking at? I think we were looking at, what was that? That was Euro. Let's go to the futures. We were looking at natural gas. I want to see what natural gas is doing in Europe. So we go over to that energy company in Spain. Right there. 2683. That's good. Yeah, I'll tell you, Europe is really getting its head handed to it in the energy sector. What else can we say about any of that? I imagine they're growing up now a little bit. They're learning. They're learning that math and science is real, and political philosophy and political desires is just exactly what it is. Just a kind of wild metaphor. There we are. There we go. All right, what else have we got here, traders? So there's nat gas. Where do we go from there usually? I guess that's about it. That's the energies. We go take a look at the stock indices. I noticed a few things on stock indices. The Russell 2000 is ripping, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average is climbing into a daily buy and playing with a weekly buy as we speak. There's the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. It's playing with the daily buy today, and it is actually over the zero line right there. So in other words, if they stay firm like this, we're going to get this thing. Remember, it went into the weekly sell back in here and a little right around the 34,000 area and a little underneath it. On some, the fast, it dropped a little underneath it, and it's found a way to go down to the 32,500 area, but we're now climbing back into a buy. Now, when we look at the S&P 500, it's still in a buy for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. See right there, it's been in a way longer, less sensitive. And then when we look at the Tech 100, right here, we see the same thing. The Tech 100 has been in a weekly buy since the beginning of March. Since the 12,500 area, and it's gotten to the 14,500 area. So we're seeing that type of action. Now here is the other canary in the coal mine of bullishness. And let's find it again. It's the Russell 2000 right there. And you can see what a move they've had after months and months and months sloppy and nothing, and tried to get into a buy here. It failed totally and sold back down again, and then it gets into the sell and it goes nowhere, and then it tries to start lifting, and now you see here it jumped into the weekly buy last week right in here in the 1750 area, and it's trading at it hit the 19 yesterday or today. What is it? What is that? That is, the high is 1899. Sounds like something Prince would make a song about. Let's party like it's 1899. Yeah. Alrighty. I can break out in a Prince song if you want. Alright. So that's pretty much the name of the game here. Anybody want to see anything? If not, we're going to get out of here. Market's open in like 30 seconds. So shout it out real quick if you want to see something. And if not, oh well. We will catch you TGIF tomorrow. Thank goodness it's Friday. Indeed, indeed. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, traders. Have a safe and smart trading day. And we will see you tomorrow. Ta-ta for now. Or better yet, arrivederci.